We all heard that the bill has now made its way through legislature, and we're waiting for Governor Inslee to sign off on it. It's HOV Lane cheaters, and I'm with Trooper Rick Johnson this morning, and we're talking about them and what they do. And man, that's a big box coming up.
Right, and you know, like California did this a while ago, and you know, this is a question I get asked all the time because really, a lot of people deem it as a cost of doing business. It's if they get caught, it was $136. I think that we'll, you know, begin to eliminate some of these repetitive cheaters by increasing the cost, but of course we're still going to get HOV violators.
Absolutely, and that's exactly why we're about ready to go hit the road. We're going to go see if anybody's out there violating anything, and we're going to talk to Trooper Rick Johnson, a little bit more about what he's seen and HOV Lane violators as well.
Light you up.
Yeah. Yes!
Okay, buckle up for safety.
I know. Okay. Hello. Okay, so before we hit the road, do I look the part? Do I
oh, yeah.
fit the state patrolman part?
Oh my goodness. Hold on.
Oh. Holding. Stand by.
All right. That won't show up anywhere.
Selfies for later. All right. So we're gonna hit the road. We're gonna go check out I-90 for a little bit, and we're gonna see what we see with HOV Lane violators. I mean, I'm sure we're not gonna see any, right?
I'm sure we'll see some.
Oh, we will?
Possibly.
Okay. But I want to talk briefly about some of the tweets that you've put out. I'm gonna put your Twitter handle just below here. You've tweeted out a couple of pretty good pictures of what people are doing these days just to get where they need to go faster.
Well, I think, you know, like during an HOV emphasis we had, that's when the day after the debates, the Trump cutout was in the passenger seat. Obviously, it doesn't look real. I think sometimes it's worth to some humans to pay $136 to get notoriety of some kind.
Okay.
You know, I mean, you put a skeleton in your front seat, I don't think it's going to fool us. Like, oh, that's a real person. So, but there are people that, I mean, do a fairly good job by, you know, dressing up the seat or, you know, putting a hat there with a scarf. I mean, we've seen all kinds of things.
But then there are some people that are just blatant and bold and just drive with nobody in there too.
Well, and I think some of it, like we've talked about, is just the cost of doing business or the cost of their commute.
Sure.
You know, that one emphasis we did, there was one vehicle in that, I believe it was a 3-day emphasis that was stopped 3 times.
Wow.
That individual on his 3rd time indicated to the motorcycle sergeant that he'd already gotten 2 HOV tickets, so he couldn't get another one. Which was incorrect.
Is that like an immune? What is that? What do they call it? Like on Survivor, immunity?
Yeah, no. Yeah, there's no limit to the number of infractions you can receive for HOV, and it really is. It's an inciting violation for. You know, we get complaints about it a lot. So,
in essence, when you stop and you pull somebody over and then you talk to them about violating the HOV lane, are they kind of feeling a little deflated and defeated, or are they apologetic? I mean, what's their reaction?
You know, there's a broad spectrum. I think, you know, you get the individual that has an excuse, like, well, I just tried to avoid a collision and jumped into the HOV lane. Well, I had an individual tell me that, but I observed them in that lane for, you know, a half a mile. If you're in the carpool lane and you're blatantly, you know, abusing that lane, and somebody sees that and you put your signal on, a lot of times people are going to be very courteous and let you over, because HOV violations are something that really make people upset.
So let's go step by step. So the first time you're pulled over and you're ticketed, it's 136, and doesn't it double, if I remember correctly?
I know,
it goes to like 300 and something, and then
I know 600. It increases. I'm not sure the exact number, but it's a kind of a graduated, you know, fine, if you want to call that. It's just kind of like the you know, the distracted driving, where, you know, the first one is 136, the second one is 234, something like that. So it's just, you know, it's hard to enforce our way into more cooperation with HOV, or really with any violation. You know, we're not there to stack tickets or charge people a bunch of money, but you know, obviously the legislature feels like, you know, it's a necessity.